Welcome to the Third Strike primer for Yun. Yun is an interesting character. I think he's strong without Jinny Jin. You add Jinny Jin on top of that, the best super in the game, and he's an absolute monster. He is the best character in the game, at least that's my opinion. Some people put Chun above him. I think in the right hands, Yun's potential outweighs Chun's. Let's go over a few normals. Jab, which you will get used to a lot. This is close jab, which I should say you would get used to more. Standing far jab is almost always an accident. Crouching jab, short, crouching short, standing strong, crouching strong, great crouching strong. Good for building meter, good for basically everything you need a normal for. Standing forward, used a lot. Crouching forward, used a lot. Close standing forward, launches, and we'll get into that later. Far standing fierce, it's a great one considering you're not really a poking character. Close standing fierce, 2 hits, his best meaty, and we will get into applications of that later. Standing roundhouse and crouching roundhouse. Pretty good, but really not used that often. Forward and fierce is his long distance kind of hi-ya, I don't even know what to call that. Forward and medium kick is an overhead, used in Jinny Jin a lot and even outside of Jinny Jin. He of course has his universal overhead like everybody in Third Strike. Yun has dive kicks. Each kick does a different distance and angle. We will show more of that in a bit. He has a dash punch. He has a palm. We can do 2 buttons. The palm fakes. He has bicycle kicks and shoulders. The medium and fierce shoulder launch. The light one does not. And the icing on the cake for Yun is that he has a command grab. This command grab is unique in the sense that you get to follow up a character after you land the command grab. Very key to Yun, and part of why his Jinny Jin is actually super scary. You cannot just block if the other Yun is good. So let's go into this. Jab, short, strong. If you're just 1, 2, 3, it just flows into each other and you can go into any of his special moves. The typical thing is to jab, short, strong, dash punch. Now, unless you're going to be comboing into something, you want to do jab, short, strong to dash punch. Pretty much every strength works, it just depends on the distance you want to be at after you land it. And the damage, of course. Fierce, of course, does the most damage. It's fairly negligible, though. Another thing is on bigger characters, you can do jab, short, strong, fierce, bicycle kicks. That's actually his most damaging combo off of the jab, short, strong, meterless. But obviously, smaller characters like Buki, it does not work. The main thing about Yun is that you want to focus on meter. How am I going to be building the most meter? So even if I hit somebody, unless I'm going to be killing them off that hit, I want to be focused on doing a combo that builds the most meter rather than the most damage. Sometimes they're the same. Other times they're not, but my general advice would be meter first, damage second. So when you're hitting them, if you have I would go for the most meter gain. Typically it's going to be something like jab, short, strong into a special move. Before we get into the rest of his stuff, I want to show you his other auto combos. Strong, fierce, back fierce. It's used sometimes. I think the better Yuns don't really use it that often. It can kind of be parry bait, but I like it. I think it's cool. I'm also not a Yun main, so I'll give you that. His other combos like if you want to start off with a strong, is like that. But you have, like that, you have to link this one. It is not an auto combo that you can just smash together like that. Same with crouching strong. Takes time, takes good timing, but you can do it like that. Short can be canceled into dash punch, such as that right there. Gotta be quick, gotta cancel that second crouching short very quickly, but he does have a low confirmable combo, which is pretty nice. Some characters don't have one at all. So, let's get into a few of the sequences I do with Yun, not talking about Jin Jin, and kind of how it flows together with Yun. So, first of all, you have your jab, short, strong, light shoulder. That's kind of the main thing you see Yuns do a lot. The shoulder is safe, but it can be parried pretty easily once someone plays against Yun a lot. So, you can stop it short. You can go into palm if you wanted. Not really recommended, but you can do it. You can even switch up the timing. So, and I swear to God, Yakun took maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds to learn that I was gonna parry the light shoulder every time, and he switched up the strength every time after that. First time I ever played him, and he made me guess the wrong one every time and blew me up for it. He did this one time, I parried it one time, every time after that, he did a different strength just to throw me off slightly enough where I would miss the parry, and he just blew me up. I did not get to play him again, so who knows how that would have turned out. Probably still pretty rough because that guy's godlike. But just to give you the example that even if you're doing this and you're gonna follow through with a move, you can still change up timing with other buttons. Hell, if you think they're gonna red parry and they're not ready for 2 hits and they're only ready for 1, you can do an EX. And the EX shoulder is 2 hits. Like I said, you can even stop short, and you're pretty even as far as like advantage here. You guys are pretty much even, but because of the way Yun is, his normal, for the most part, is going to beat a lot of other people's normals. You can kind of see how at this point, you guys kind of occur at the same time. Most of the time, I'm able to move or do something a lot more easier after I stop short than other characters. It's not always the case, but just keep that in mind. Sometimes I like to mess around and fake the palm. And that's really it. Like I said, doing this is your go-to. Hitting them or blocking and going into the light shoulder to confirm into Jin is your main kind of like, you gotta get that ingrained in your brain. That's your go-to thing. Now, a few little sequences I like to do. I like to do things like forward and forward kick or medium kick, standing short, light shoulder.
Go for it.
That little sequence has a high, the short after is quick follow-up, and the shoulder is safe. So again, unless it's parried. So why? Always building meter. Little sequences like that lets you hit them, or rather keep them blocking, and you are building meter the whole time. You're not really worried about hitting them. If it hits them, great, awesome. If it doesn't, well, I'm building meter and my bar is tiny. So, win-win. That's why little sequences that flow together like that are really great. You should learn sequences like that are semi-safe, that still apply a little bit of pressure, because your main objective here is to build meter. Now, that's one way to approach. Another way to approach is his Standing Fierce, his best meaty. Why is it his best meaty? Well, the first hit hits very solid, and you can stuff a lot of things with it. The second hit always comes out. The only way they're gonna beat that second hit is if they parry and then do something instantly with a lot of priority, like uppercut or something like that, or super, or, well, not all supers will even cut it, but you get the idea. They're not going to be able to parry and press medium punch. The second hit on this Fierce is going to hit them. Okay, now you can also cancel the first hit into special moves. So if you just see it hit and you got that reaction, then you can go into a dash punch. Mainly, regardless of what's going on, unless I think they're gonna parry, I'll let the 2 hits rock. Well, if they're gonna parry, I'll let the 2 hits rock. Otherwise, if I'm pretty sure they're gonna block and I don't feel like reacting, I just go right into the light shoulder, 2 hits, shoulder safe on block, building meter as always. Now, Yun does do, he does throw. Not the best throw game out there, but obviously you need to throw your throws into the game, into your gameplay to help open people up. Now he can do the shimmy, his walk speed is pretty fast. Normally if they whiff a throw, because I walk out of the throw range, I just do low forward dash punch. The better Yuns punish with standing medium kick. Standing medium kick is key for the better Yuns is because you can jump cancel this. And if you have Jinny Jin, you can jump cancel it into Jinny Jin, and then Jinny Jin does not have any damage reduction. He lays on fat damage with his juggles at that point. The main thing you could do if it's blocked is follow up with like Furious or his 2 hit in the air, which is light punch, forward fierce punch. I'll show that a little bit later. Or just pop them up and then dash punch. Other little sequences and ways to build meter is when the other opponent's blocking, you can see that this medium punch like goes into itself very nicely. I mean, look at that. That's 4 normals in a row that you connected with the opponent. A lot of characters can't do that like Yun does that. His normals are fast, they don't push him very far away unless it's the more specialized ones like this Fierce. So all that is just for meter build. If they get hit, just an extra bonus for you, but the goal is meter. I mean, even ridiculous stuff like crouching strong, standing forward kick hits. So you can see how his buttons kind of flow together, and that's kind of the way you're going to be building meter if you're not running away pyro and crouching strong and building meter and jumping in and out, hitting them away when they try to approach, and such. When you are running away and building meter and you smell a dash, you're gonna want to every once in a while throw out a shoulder and hit them mid-dash. If you have meter by that time for Jin Jin, cancel into Jin Jin, you'll have a nice combo. If not, just follow up with typically the dash punch. Yun is kind of like what 12 wish he was. Yun has obviously much better pressure, and his mobility is pretty much better than 12's, even though he doesn't have an air dash or an air glide per se. Just because his normals are just great. Yun can jump in and out and get in and out just like 12, but he can just do it better. Jumping away, you're going to want to use standing, or fierce. This button, I can't tell you how many times I knew Young was going to jump away, so I would try to jump and chase after him with my own normal, and it would get stuffed. This is just a good jumping away Furious Punch. If you're jumping neutral, typically this is the button you want to meet them with. Also, neutral Furious. You can do standing you can do roundhouse too. Now, let me show you the 2-hit button in the air, or 2-hit combo rather. It is jab, forward, Furious. Now this is a great thing to meet them in the air with also. Obviously it's 2 hits, makes it a little more difficult if they're jumping and parrying. The light stays out there for a long time too, so it's got a good chance to stuff and stop whatever they are about to hit, or even if they already did hit the button. Excuse me. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, the next step here, well, there's a bunch of steps, but let me just show you one little cutesy thing here. I think the first person that did this to me was Eric Chin back in California. Standing, medium kick, 2-hit, forward, Furious. Now the forward Furious, and this is a mid-screen thing, and it's kind of a cheeky, cool little thing to do. You land earlier than them, and then you end up hitting them on the other side. Now that's kind of cool because you can walk like this, and it almost looks like you're going to be on the other side. Just kidding, I'm in your face again. Here's a nice little jab, short, strong combo. That's a cool little thing just to keep in mind and play around with. On different characters, you can do different things. It's just cool. Alright, now, one thing I like to do, and this is just me, maybe not the best thing, I don't know, what do I say? No, I play SA2 Yacht. Is after I do this, I'm right in range of a standing Furious. Awesome. Like, to have a chance to hit them, I have the chance to keep them standing and do a standing Furious, possibly build more meter. If I do that, it kind of just ends it, which is fine. You can set up dive kick stuff after that. The other thing is after you do a shoulder, you're also in range of low forward. So they always are going to have to guess. You're in complete control after you hit a light shoulder like that. Food for thought. Dive kicks. Dive kicks are something you're going to want to know well. Obviously, each strength does different angles and distance. The main objective is when you're trying to hit the other opponent with a dive kick, is hitting them below the waist. That's your kind of goal there. The lower, the better, to the point where if you hit low enough and the person parries, really they can't punish you. They're in range to throw you, but because you recover, you can go ahead and also take the throw. Dive kicks are good on block and on hit. On hit, obviously you have a good chance to go into a combo. Like I said, it should be deep. A lot of times you are outside of the range to do jab short strong because you get this. You're gonna have to do a good job of knowing when you can do jab short strong. Normally it's gonna be after a roundhouse dive kick. Be wary, smarter players know, oh, it's a roundhouse dive kick, it hit deep. He's probably gonna jab short strong, and that's parry bait. Just be aware. When you do a dive kick, you can go into combos, you can do a delay, slight delay into his command grab, you can jump up in the air again and do another dive kick. You can jump up in the air and parry, baiting an uppercut. You can jump up into the air and come down with a normal just a straight up normal, and then continue pressure, do a command grab, repeat the process. That's kind of how you can be annoying and play semi-safe outside of them making good reads or parries. And again, obviously you can read what you think they're gonna, what move you think they're gonna make a read with. It's all part of third strike, my friends. The other thing is his 2-hit air combo does work when he's doing a neutral jump. Doesn't work on Ibuki obviously because he starts it too low. But on bigger characters like Hugo, Alex, Dudley, it's great. It's a really great move. Even Shoto's it can work on, Ibuki's just slightly too short. Again, that's part of the mix-up. Instead of coming down with 1 hit this time, I'll come down with 2. And it's just more for them to try to, more information they have to try to gather and figure out. Keep them guessing when you're applying pressure, trying to build meter. That is if you're being offensive. Obviously, if you're running away, you're going to be playing your defensive game while doing crouching strong and building meter. A few things here. Yun's Jinijin. Now, I'm going to do a little Jinijin combo. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. But I want to kind of show you something about why Yun is so good. Okay, you see how I gained a small amount of meter with the worst follow-up combo on Earth. After Jinijin was depleted, I am still able to juggle, and I could do more if I knew more about Jinijin. But you can see that I gained meter in the same combo that I did damage with in Jinijin. Imagine if you optimize your ender, and there's plenty of guides and videos showing that basically give you another 25% bar by the time your first combo is over. You're that much closer to Jinijin if you're good at applying pressure safely and building meter, or running away defensively and keeping yourself safe and building meter. You can understand having another Jinijin that fast and going into your basically god mode, how strong that is. When you're in Jinijin, really there's not much that the other person can do. Outside of godlike reads, basically when you master Jinijin or get close to mastery of it, the other person is going to take some form of damage. You get to apply pressure pretty safely. Even red parries are hard to manage. Even if like Yun is applying with low short, many times the next low short will just blow it up, whatever the next person tries to do. And many times, whenever they're punished, the short recovers so fast, the punish doesn't even hit. So, how do you defend against Yun, and what does Yun do against people that try to defend against it? Well, when Yun is in Jinijin, he's gonna fish for a hit. He's gonna fish for a hit, and if he's good, he's gonna hit, and then go into his Jinijin combo, try to do a decent ender to build meter for the next Jinijin. So fishing for a hit, typically low shorts, overhead, forward and medium kick. Not really combo material, but hits the person, makes them think, oh, maybe I should stand up next time so I stop getting hit with a bunch of these, and then you can go low. Oh, the other good person is really good at blocking. Oops, command grab. You're in Jinijin, you can continue a combo. You'll have to look up videos on that specifically, what to do combo-wise when you're in Jinijin and get a command grab. But that's the icing on the cake for Yun. When Yun does 1, 2, 3, you can do 1, 2, 3 shoulder activate. Let's see if I can do it. He can do 1, 2, 3 activate. 1, 2, 3 activate gives you more damage. Okay, not always easy to do on the fly, but it does give you more damage. You don't cancel a special move into it, so voila. The other thing is activating Jenny Jin Ra. This is something you're going to see Yun players do when they're not having a good time coming at them with Yun outside of Jenny Jin. If they're good at Yun and good at Jenny Jin, this is still a good strategy. Lets you apply pressure and get in there to use your Jenny Jin a lot safer. Like I said, if they're good, a random hit's going to lead into a real combo. Other than that, guys, that was just kind of Yun in a nutshell, just to get you started and his kind of general game plan. My best suggestion for this character, because he is hard to win with in the beginning, but he has the most potential in the game as far as lethalness, is to watch the good Yun players play. Pyralee's a great example. KO's a great example. Yakun is an amazing example. There's other good US Yun players, I'm sure. I don't remember their names because I'm old. But yeah, devour the match videos for Yun. There's a bunch of stuff out there that helps you kind of get your mind working about how Jenny Jin works and how they maneuver. Yun's gonna be a hard character to apply it all at the same time, so just take your victories. Alright guys, later. I should say, take your improvements within a match to your mind, rather than the losses with Yun, because in the beginning you're going to lose a lot with Yun. But when you make small improvements within a match, like, oh, that time I did do 1, 2, 3, and last few times he parried the shoulder, so this time I didn't shoulder, and I didn't get punished there. That's what I'm talking about. Take your small victories and start building your confidence and your knowledge with Yun. That's it, guys. Thanks for checking in. One more video till this series is complete, and then I will do Alex for my final. Alright guys, later.